Good day everyone, Mr. Cargill here with our next AutoCAD video. Now in this video I'll be explaining how you draw this wine glass right here in AutoCAD. Now when drawing this wine glass we're going to start with the ellipse. Right here it says that this is a half ellipse. We know the major axis for the ellipse. The major axis is 50 because over here you can see this is 50. So from here to down here is 50, while the minor axis is 35. From this point right here to right over here is 35. So don't let the 45 confuse you. Throughout the video you will see why this 45 is necessary, but what we need right now is this, the 35, which is the minor axis, and the 50, which is the major axis. So with that information now we can open AutoCAD and we can start our drawing. So we want to set up a few things first before we start. We want to set our units. So click on that arrow right there, or you can type units, and then you click on draw new utensils and click on units. When you click on units, you want to ensure this is decimal. Change the precision from 0.0 to 0. Make sure this is millimeters, this is decimal degrees, and the precision over here is 0 as well. Standard should be international, and click OK. Also, we want to set our limits, so we can type limits, LIM, and you will see limits come up. You just click on it or press enter. Now, the lower left hand corner, we are always going to want that to be 0, 0. And just like with a graph sheet, the x-axis and the y-axis, where the meat is always 0. So we will let that stay at 0, so we just press enter. For the upper right hand corner, we can make it 500 by 500 because the wine glass is a small drawing, so you can type 500, 500. Alright, and that's the limits that we are working with. Now down here, we're going to want to turn on a few things. I would recommend that you turn on your grid. If you don't have a grid turned on, you turn on your grid. So you can see this green line and this red line, so you know the space in which you are working. You also want to turn on ortho. You want to turn on object snap. And you also want to turn on object snap tracking. And yeah, that's all you would want to turn on for now. And beside object snap, there's a drop down arrow. Click on this drop down arrow, and everything that I have turned on here you'll want to turn on as well. So endpoint, midpoint, center, geometric center, node, quadrant, intersection, extension, perpendicular, and tangent. So you want to ensure that you have all of those turned on. Alright, good. So once you have all that, we can start our drawing. Now the major axis for the ellipse was 50 and the minor axis was 35. So with that information we can start drawing our ellipse. So over here you can just click right here to select the ellipse, but first you want to ensure that you click on the drop down arrow and click on center, because we're going to draw our ellipse from the center. So we select center, and then we click on the ellipse. So now just click a place to start. We can start anywhere. So let's start here. Alright, good. So you click on the place to start, and then once you select somewhere to start, you are going to type in the measurement for the minor axis. So you just click on somewhere to start, extend your mouse out horizontally, and you type 35 and press enter. Alright, so once you have that now, it's going to ask you for the major axis, which is 50. So then you're going to point your mouse down vertically and type 50 and press enter. Alright, so just like that we have our ellipse. Now we are going to need a line at the top of the ellipse. So let's make this one 45. So that's why that 45 was necessary. So 45 in that direction. So let me do that again. When you click on the line, you put your mouse up here and you should see the square. Click on the square, bring your mouse out and just type 45, enter. Then you press space bar, escape, and you have that. Alright, so then I click here again and I'm going to type 45 over here again. So 45, enter. Alright, so that's good. Now remember that space bar gives you the previous command, so I just use the line. So if I want another line now, I don't have to type L enter to get a line or click on line. I can just press space bar and I will get the previous command, which was a line. So now that we have that, we are going to draw a line from on here, from this quadrant right here where it says quadrant, that diamond, from there to this line right here. So you just click down here, bring your mouse up, and you will see this right here once you have perpendicular turned on. So you click there, then you press space bar again to get back the line. Click on this quadrant and bring this line up right here. Alright, good. Also now we're going to select line again, but this time we're going to turn off ortho because we're going to be drawing a diagonal line, and ortho doesn't allow you to draw a diagonal line. So turn off ortho, click on the endpoint right there, and we're going to bring this to this tangent right here. Remember, we're not bringing it to the quadrant or the endpoint right here. We are bringing it to the tangent down here. So once you click here, you just move your mouse down here until you see this circle that says tangent, and you click there. Space bar again. Click on the endpoint, do the same thing over here. Bring that down to that tangent right there. So with that now, we have the top of the wine glass, and we're going to trim it down and everything, but just let it stay like that for now because we're going to need these lines for dimensioning. Alright, so once we have that, we can look back at the drawing. Alright, it says that from here, from the end of the ellipse to down here at the stem of the wine glass is 61, and then the base of the wine glass is 4 millimeters. So with that information now, we're going to do this. We're going to draw a line from here. We're going to bring it down, or we're going to need to turn back ortho. We're going to need to turn ortho back on. This line is going to be 165. This is why. From here to here is 100, then the stem is 61, and the base is 4. So when you add up that, you get 165. So we're going to make this line 165. So type 165 and press enter. Alright, so once you have that now, it says that right here, from here to this line over here is 6. Well, it says from here to this line here is 6, and the wine glass is symmetrical. So that means that over here, from this point right here to this point right here, is 6 as well. So with that information, we're going to do this. We're going to use our offset tool. So you can either type offsets, or you can click right here where it says offset. So you click right here. Then it's going to ask you to specify the offset distance. The offset distance is 6, so we type 6 and press enter. So then it's going to ask you to select the object to offset. So you click on this line right here, and click over here, then you click on this line again, and click over here, and you have your two lines that are 6 millimeters away from the center. Alright, good. So with that done, we're going to need to get these two curves right here. This curve right here and this one over here. And it says that the radius of the curve is 8. So to do that, we're going to use the fillet tool. So we can type fillet, F-I-L-L-E-T, or we can just click on it right here. So we click on fillet. It's going to ask us to select the first object. So we're going to click on the ellipse, and then now we're going to enter the radius of the curve that we want to draw. So to do that, we type R for radius. So we type R, enter. Then we type 8, enter, because the radius is 8. Then we click on this line right here that we want to fillet the line too. Okay, so right here. So again, you click on the ellipse. After you select fillet, you click on the ellipse, type R, enter, then you type R, enter, then you type 8, enter, then you click on this line down here, and you get your curve. Alright, but I'm going to put back this line here because we're going to need it for dimensioning. Just click right at the quadrant there and just bring this line up here. Just bring it up like that. And then we can trim it. Just type TR, enter, and press enter again. And we can trim off this part right here. Alright, good. So now we're going to do the same thing over this side right here. So we're going to type fillet. We're going to click on this right here. Now, because you already did the fillet over here, the fillet distance is already 8. So you don't have to type R, enter, 8, enter again. You can just click on the ellipse and click on this line right here. And just like that, you have your fillet on that side. So we're going to need this line again. So we click here and we bring this up here again. Press escape or space bar, and then we trim, TR for trim, then you press enter twice and we trim it like that. Alright, so now that's the top part of the wine glass completed. So now we're going to need to do the stem of the wine glass and the base. So right down here represents the base of the wine glass. So now down here it says that from the center to over here, this part right here is 8. Then from the center to here is 8 plus 12, which is 20. So from here to here is 8, from here to here is 12, and from here to all the way over here is 32. So we're going to start with the 32 distance. So we're going to select a line, click right here, and make this line 32. So type 32, enter. And you're going to do the same thing for the next side. From there, you type 32, enter. Good, so that's the base. It says that from down here to this point up here is 3 millimeters. Alright, so now we're going to offset this line, these two lines, by 3 millimeters. Alright, but instead of offsetting two lines, we can just make them one line by joining them. So to join them, just click on both the lines, then you press J, enter. So J is for join, then you press enter, and now as you can see they're one line. Alright, so I'm going to offset that line. I'm going to select the offset tool again. The offset distance is going to be 3, enter, click on the line and bring it up. So that line represents this point right here. No, it says that from here to here is 3, but from here to this point right here is 4, which means that from here to here is 1 millimeter. Again, if from here to here is 3 and from here to here is 4, that means that the difference from here to here is 1 millimeter. So we're going to offset this line again by 1. So offset. So we're going to offset that line again by 1. So we type offset or select offset, and the offset distance this time is going to be 1. Click on this line right here and bring up that line by 1. So now that line represents this area right here. So it says that from here to this point right here is 3. So we're going to need to offset this line again by 3. Alright, so select the offset tool again and then type 3, enter. Click on this line and bring it up like that. Alright, so we have all our lines that we need for the base of the wine glass. So with that done, we now need to use this information right here. So this 8 represents the stem, the width of the stem down here. As you can see, it up here it's 6, but down here it's 8. That means that this is not a straight line, it's a bit slant. So we're going to offset the center line by 8 on both sides. So we're going to offset it by 8 over here and by 8 over here as well. So we are going to now select offset and type 8, enter. Click on this center line, bring that line out by 8. Click on the center line again, bring that line out by 8. Good. Alright, so with that done now, we are now going to use this information right here, the 12. It says that from here to here is 8 plus 12, which means 20. Alright, so from here to here should be 20. So we're going to offset by 20. So select offset again and type 20, enter. Click on the center line, bring that out, click on the center line and bring it out again. Alright, good. Alright, it looks a bit confusing with all these lines, so I'm going to clear it up in a bit. Alright, so look at this drawing now. So it says that from here to here is 8, and from there to there is 6. So we're going to need to join them together with a slant line. So I'm going to do that right now. So we select the slant line from there, and from the 6 up here, we're going to join it to the 8 down here. Alright, so from the 6 up here, we're going to join it to the 8 down here. Good. So that's our slant line. So that line actually represents the actual stem. So we no longer need this line, this 6 line. We can delete this now. So just click on both the lines and press delete. But now if you realize this curve does not go exactly on this line, so we are going to have to redo these fillets. So just click on both the fillets and we're going to delete them. So then now we just use back the fillet tool, very simple. Click on fillet, click on the ellipse, type R, enter, 8, enter. And I think the radius is already at 8, but let me just be sure. So type R, enter, 8, enter, and then click on this line right here. And that's the true fillet. We're not going to delete this line as yet because we're still going to need it for dimensioning. So do the same thing over here. Click on fillet, click on the ellipse, and click on this line right here. Alright, good. So we have our arc up there. We don't need this line. This line was a mistake, so delete that. Alright, good. So with that now, we have this point right here. Right here. So we're going to need to get this arc on this side and on this side as well. And it says that that arc, the radius of that arc is 12. So we type fillet again, type R, enter, 12, enter. Click on this line right here. Remember, we're not clicking on this line, the outer line. We're clicking on this line right here. Alright. To be sure that you click on the right line, let's just delete this first. So delete these 2 lines. So click on both of them and press delete. Select fillet again. The radius is already set at 12. So now I can just click on that and click on this. And that is my fillet right there. Do the same thing over this side. Click on here. Oh, we're going to need but this line right here. So come here and bring this across over here. Good. Alright, so now we can select fillet, click here, and we click here. And that is that stem right there. We're going to need but this line right here in the center. And we need that line because it's in the drawing, so you have to represent it. As you can see right here, it is that line right there. Alright, good. So now we come down by 3 and this goes up by 3 down here. So we're going to join this to this right here. Do the same thing over the other side. If you do not have a mouse and you want to navigate the AutoCAD like this, you have to type pan, so type P, enter, and that's how you would be able to move around like that. Alright, good. So now we can join here to here, because on the drawing you see this line is slanted right here, so we're going to draw that slant line. So we select line, join from here to here. Do the same thing over this side, from here to here. And just like that, our wine glass is finished. So we can start trimming it up. Alright, so let's start trimming up our wine glass. So we can... Alright, I'm not going to start trimming as yet because there are some lines that we're going to need for when we start dimensioning. But we can delete, we can trim this one. So TR, enter, enter. Can get rid of this one. Can trim this up here and here. Alright, so yeah. Oh, and we can trim the ellipse as well. Alright, good. But we're not going to delete these lines as yet because we're going to need them for dimensioning. Alright, so with that said, now we can now move into dimensioning. So let's do that. So to do that, we're going to click on dimension. But before I do that, I want to ensure that I have everything set. So I'm going to click on annotation, click on ISO 25, and click on manage dimension styles, and click on modify. It should be decimal, which changes from 0.00 to 0. Change this from comma to period. This should be 1 decimal degrees. Precision is 0. Press OK, close, and we're all set to go. So we're going to set a dimension layer because we want our dimension to be a different color from the wine glass. So click on layer properties and click here to click right here where it says create layer. So right here you click on that to create a layer where it says new layer, and we're going to call that layer dimension. So just type dimension. Alright, so that's our dimension layer. Right here where it says white, we're going to change that. We want a different color. You can choose whatever color you like. I like bright colors for dimensioning, so let's use yellow. Okay, and the dimension line is continuous, so we don't change the line type or anything. So we're all good. So we can now close this. So we're going to click on this drop down right here and change it from the 0 layer to the dimension layer. So we can start dimensioning now. So click here to start dimensioning. So when we click there now, we can actually start putting in our dimensions. Now we're going to use the same dimensions that are here. So right here it shows that from here to here is 35, so we're going to put in that information. So come over here, we already click on dimension, so we click right here, click over here. So that's why we kept this line. That's why we didn't get rid of this line, because we wanted to show this 35 right here. Alright, so that's 35, and so after you click this point and click this point, the number comes up, and then you just bring it up, and we're going to bring it up by 10. So just type 10, enter. So it stays right there at 10, and that's good because you can have all your dimensions at an equal distance away from the drawing. So we're done with this line now. These two lines, we can get rid of them. We no longer need these two lines. Good. So we're going to have to trim there. So we have to trim this. So type TR, enter, enter, and click on that line. Alright, wonderful. So now we can dimension over here as well. So you can click dimension again, or just click spacebar. Click from here to that point over there, which is 45. Type 10, enter. Alright, good. It also gave us the distance from the center of the ellipse. to give us this distance, the distance of the half ellipse, which is 50. So we have to represent that distance as well. So we click on the center of the ellipse after we type dimension. Click on the center of the ellipse. Alright, let me just delete the center line so I can get the center of the ellipse. So I delete the center line, click on dimension, and the center of the ellipse is right here. So I'll click from the center to down here, which is 50, and then I bring it out like this. Alright, so I'm going to bring this all the way out over here. So from here to here is 35, and 35 plus 10 would give me 45. So type 45. Alright, 45. Oh, 45 will not work because of this quadrant right here. Alright, so instead of 45, let's make it 55. It would have to be 55. So dimension, click on the center of the ellipse, and bring this, and click down here, and bring this out by 55, and press enter. Alright, so that's good. Alright, next thing now that we're going to dimension is the right here, the 6 right here. So for that we're going to need back the center line. We don't necessarily need the center line. We can just click dimension again, or click spacebar, click right here, bring it over here for where this is 6. From here, from the center point here to over here should be 6. Alright, let me do this then. Change back the dimension to the 0 layer. Alright, so click from here to here. Good. Alright, so now I can click on dimension, click from this point right here, click on dimension here, click from this point right here to over here, which is 6. So just click here and bring this up by 10. Good. In the drawing it's dimensioned on this side, but there's no problem if you do it on this side. Alright, so with that done now, we are going to dimension. We can put in the 100 right here. So let's do that. Dimension, we click on dimension, click from here to down here, and bring this out by 55. Alright, that's done. So the top half of the wine glass is finished, so we can dimension the lower half now. So let's dimension from here to here, which should be 61. So from this point right here to down here, which is 61 right here. Alright, and bring this out by 55. Alright, good. Or if you don't want to bring it up by 55 since it would look a bit tacky, we can just bring it out and make it be even with the 100 dimension. So click right here in the center, bring it down here at 61, and bring it across where it meets here, and just click right there. Alright, and then the next measurement we're going to put in is the 4 right over here. Alright, so now let's put in that dimension. So click from here to down here, bring it across over here, and that's 4. We're going to put in the 3 dimension over here that represents the 3 right there. So click here, here, and bring this across by 10. So 10, enter. Alright, good. So with that done, the only thing we have left to do now is these dimensions here and these dimensions. Alright, so to do that, this is how we're going to go about doing it. Let's do these two down here first. So let me get back the center line down here. Alright, so let me just select line, change this from dimension to 0 layer, select line, click here, bring this down, all the way down. So we have the center line to use as a reference. So then we select dimension, click on the dimension here. I didn't have to use the center line because midpoint is on and it would have given me the midpoint. So I'm just letting you know that. Alright, so now we click from here, from the center here, to the 12 over here. Oh, if I do that, it would be 20. So I need but the line that represents 8. Alright, so let's do this for that. Let's offset the center line by 8. So click on the offset tool, change this from the dimension to the 0 layer, click on the offset tool. Offset distance is 8. Click from here to here and from here to here. When we're finished with these lines, we can delete them. So let's dimension, click from here. Oh, let's get back the dimension layer. Alright, so dimension, click from here to here. It will tell you that this is 8. Bring this down by 10. Then let's do the 12 dimension. So from the 8 to the end over here should be 12. So we can click on here. You can do it on any side, whether this side or the side over here. Click here, that's 12. Bring that down by 10. Good, so we have all of that. So now we can do the 32 dimension. So we just click on dimension, click from the center, bring it all the way over here, that says 32. Alright, so we have that dimension right here. So just bring that down by 10. Alright, and we know that this 32 will be the same for over there. So we are good, we have all the dimensions that we need. Even though the 32 is on both sides over here, you can do it on one side over here. Alright, so that's good. Okay, so with all that information, we now need to do the curves. But before I do the curves, I'm just going to delete the things that we no longer need. So delete that, delete the center line, delete these two lines. Delete the center line from here. Alright, and yes, very good. So now we can just dimension the curves. So to do that, we click on right here where it says leader. So we click on leader, click on this midpoint right here, the midpoint on the curve, and then turn off ortho. Then just bring this arrow out a good distance. We could bring it out by 10. Let's bring it out by 10. Alright. Once you do that now and you click, it's going to ask you for the radius. So the radius is 8, so type R8. Sorry. Oh. Alright, so I'm in the wrong layer. So by layer. Alright, so type R. So if that happens right here, if the writing is white, you change here to by layer, which is the yellow one, and type R8. Alright, so let me just do that over again. So delete that, click on that and press delete. Dimension, no, leader. Click on the midpoint here. Bring this out here and just click in this space out here, and then change it to by layer and type R8. R8. Press enter, or just click outside, and the radius will be 8. So out here now, click on leader again, click on this midpoint here, bring this out and click, and type R. So type R12, enter. just click outside. Alright, and just like that, you have your wine glass and it is fully dimensioned. So that's how you draw this wine glass right here in AutoCAD.